See, I remember when I first started collecting and I was diving into fragrances, I was kind of expecting everything to follow a similar blueprint. You know, a men's fragrance or a men's cologne was going to have this kind of fresh, generic, cologne-y smell to it, you know, like an Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce, that sort of thing. I thought everything was going to follow that similar blueprint, right? And it wasn't until I started dipping my toes in a little bit deeper, I started discovering some new things that my mind was blown. I had no idea just how interesting men's fragrances can get. You know, I started discovering some sweeter ones, some ones with tobacco and vanilla and spicy notes and that sort of thing. And even some of the fresher ones that I was starting to try had more depth and were more interesting than your typical cologne-y type of scent, you know, your scent that you would pick up rebottled under some generic name. It just smells like a cologne, right? I started discovering that there was so much more to really try and to be able to express yourself with than I initially thought. And it's those fragrances, those interesting ones, that deep-rooted my interest into this hobby. And without some of those, I don't think I would be standing here making videos on this stuff. So I wanted to highlight 7 fragrances that really got me hooked into this hobby. You know, they just, for whatever reason, interested me in such a way that I wanted to continue discovering more. I wasn't satisfied with what I had, even though, you know, starting out, I did already kind of establish a pretty decent collection. I wanted to continue trying new things, and it's led to where I am now. So I will link these down below, and let's just get started right away with Pure Excess Night by PACO Rabanne. This one has caramel, myrrh, vanilla, ginseng, ginger, and cacao. So it's chocolatey, sweet, smooth, with this very spicy opening. Be careful with the opening. I've talked about it before, but that combination will really hit you strong, especially when you spray it on skin, but it does smooth out significantly after the opening. So if it's too harsh for you off the top, just give it some time. Trust me, it's going to get much better, and it really turns into this gourmand, delicious, addicting smelling scent in the dry down. I wasn't expecting anything like this from PACO Rabanne, and I wasn't expecting anything like this from men's fragrances in general. You know, I got this really about I don't know, a year or so, a little over a year after I was into collecting. And, you know, even at that point, I was really into it, but not too much yet. It really didn't pick up until a little while after this one as well. So this is one that I tried, not for sure if I was going to like it or not, because it did seem different, and I ended up loving it. I've been a fan of this one since day one. And we'll go back to one that I got even earlier on there than Pure Excess from Viktor & Rolf. It's SPICEBOMB. The Eau de Toilette is what I started out with. And it's a similar deal, man. You guys know SPICEBOMB, and maybe you guys, before you were collecting or whatever, maybe you smelled this all over the place, right? Because it's a very popular one. You gotta understand where I live and where I'm from, no one is really wearing fragrances, so if they were, it would be, again, something super generic and fresh and, you know, just like, okay, yeah, it's a cologne, but whatever, you know. Never smelled anything like this until I blind bought a bottle because I saw that it was a popular one and I liked the look of the bottle. And I tried it for the first time and I was like, okay, I'm onto something here. This is why I'm having so much fun with this hobby. You guys know it, tobacco, pink pepper, cinnamon. It's a literal spice bomb, so you got to be into that sort of thing. It's a warm, spicy scent, sexy, it's addicting, it smells fantastic. And this one played a huge role in me just diving headfirst into this to continue to try new things. And I still remember the first time I smelled this one too, DIOR Homme Intense. This is one of my, I don't even know if this has been sprayed bottles, is basically what it is. 4U02, so a 2014 batch. I've been holding on to this one. It's maybe had a couple sprays out of it. I've tried to collect some of the older batches and, you know, just one of those things I like to do. But I remember I smelled this for the first time from a sample. And again, I sampled it first because I didn't think I was going to like it, just based off reviews, you know, lipstick bag makeup. Got it in, tried the sample, immediate love. And again, in my head, I was thinking, holy crap, I would have never thought that there was stuff out there like this. I would have never thought I would have liked it, but this is why I love this hobby. This is one of the best designer fragrances ever created. If you don't have it yet, or if you haven't tried it yet, you got to at some point. Similar deal with this one. I remember trying it for the first time. It was from a sample. I got a sample of this, and I got a sample of Baccarat Rouge 540 EDP at the same time, or if not very close to each other, because at that time, these were two of the most popular hot niche fragrances that were out on the market, you know, that were newer anyway. Not talking about Aventus and some of the other creeds that have been out for years, but it's ELYSIUM Parfum Cologne. You know, it was newer, fresher to the market. There was no way I was going to be able to afford to buy a bottle blindly at that time. And so a sample is what I ended up with. Smelled that sample, immediate love. I was so impressed and just so breathtaking that there's stuff out there like this one. And I still love ELYSIUM. It's one of my favorites. Not long after that, I scraped together some money, bought myself a bottle of the Parfum Cologne, and shortly after bought a bottle of the Parfum. Now I've ended up with multiple bottles of this stuff, and I wear it heavily. One of my all-time favorites. It's got lemon, blackcurrant, vetiver, bergamot, musk, woods, a whole bunch of notes, right? You know, it's, I guess, their take on a blue fresh fragrance, but it doesn't smell like any of the blue fragrances, so that's always nice. It just smells like a premium, masculine, fresh, wearable product that, for me, just checks all the boxes. I even get good performance from this one, the Parfum Cologne as well as the Parfum. So for me, it just does everything I want it to, and I love it. Go with another fresher one here, Versace Man Eau Fresh. Similar deal. When I first started my collection with, and I didn't know things like this existed. We may look at this now and be like, oh, this is generic, right? This is something that everyone has. Oh, it's not too exciting. But you gotta understand, as a brand new beginner nose, someone that's used to smelling the body sprays and the Axe fragrances and just the ultra super generic stuff, when I tried this, I immediately noticed the quality, even though I didn't have a nose for it. I'm like, wow, that smells special. Just something about this one was special to me, and it immediately just had me hooked. It made me hungry to discover more and try new things, and for that, I'll always love Versace Man Eau Fresh. Gone through, this is my second bottle, and it's already down pretty low. My first one is basically empty. This stuff, especially in the summertime, is still to this day very hard to go wrong with. I still remember getting this one for the first time. I got it off of eBay. Actually, it's not even this bottle. I swapped the original bottle, which doesn't matter too much because I got another one. But I bought it off of eBay, got it for a good price. It was cheaper there than on discounters at this time. I was really having to be conscious of what I was buying, and I was putting a lot of effort into my buys because I just didn't really have the funds to be just throwing around all hog wild. And so I ended up buying one off of eBay for a good price. I was super excited about it. My first fragrance from the brand. It's Artisan ACQUA by John Varvatos. This one's got notes like pomelo, fir resin, lavender, orange, a whole bunch of other notes going on, and still love it. Absolutely love it. This kind of has a little bit of an aromatic fougere classic twist to it, but then with kind of a freshness going on and some green aspects. Smells amazing. The depth and the quality that you get from this one is unparalleled on the market. Now, this is a limited edition, and it's now starting to get a little bit more tricky to find, so I would encourage you to get one of these while you can. But it's one of the best from John Varvatos, still to this day. I even still really like it over Artisan Pure and the like, but again, it's harder for me to feature and talk about because it is kind of getting hard to get. But I do encourage you to check this one out. And I remember smelling this one, similar deal. I was completely mind blown. And again, the reason why I like to do the deals and all that sort of thing on the community tab is to hopefully help you guys out. You know, this hobby is incredibly expensive and it can get out of hand. So if I'm able to save you guys money and get you the best possible deals on things, then I'm going to do that. That's what I wish I had when I was starting out, because it would have saved me a lot of money. I would have had to spend way less if I was able to do that when I was starting out. So that's why I'm trying to provide you guys with deals. Community tab, get subscribed so you see those posts. You guys know the drill. We'll end this video with Guerlain Homme. This is the Eau de Toilette, the original, you know, like this style bottle. Tiny little thing. It's what, a 30 ml? And there's not a whole lot left. Granted, you know, it doesn't take all that long to burn through, what, probably 20 mils, something like that. So yeah, it is what it is. It's got mojito, lime, mint, and rum. And it's kind of a tropical smelling fresh but sweet scent. And really, the note breakdown speaks for itself on the type of images that this one will conjure up when you smell it. Just nice vacation scent, uplifting, fun, great for spring, great for early summer. Later on, when it gets really hot and humid, I'm going to be reaching for other things. But I've always liked this one when temperatures are finally starting to break out of the chill zone. You know, you got that kind of 60 degrees and below, even 65, kind of chilly zone. As soon as you get above that and you start touching into those 70s, it starts getting warm. You know, I kind of wear this one right around that point just to get you out of the cool weather. But then once it gets really hot, I switch to other things. But I do really like this one a lot. Similar deal, got this one very early on, seeing it on YouTube, people talking about it smelling like a mojito, had me interested, and I smelled it and I'm like, wow, wasn't expecting something like this to exist because it's very accurate and I love it. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. 7 fragrances that instantly got me hooked, even deeper, pulled me in so much more to this hobby. And again, I've really a lot to owe to these fragrances because they helped to keep me going, and you know, they made me interested to try to dive in further and see what else I can discover. And you know, they've also helped to develop my taste. Now I'm into completely different things than I was when I started out with, and these kind of helped me get there. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.